preparation for the 2025 timeline. You guys, the 2025 timeline is nothing like we've ever gone through before, like we've ever experienced before, because of its speed. The 2025 timeline, I want you to imagine it like a gushing, rushing stream of consciousness. And I'm going to describe to you what's going to happen in the stream of consciousness, how it's going to interact with you and make you feel, and why. The 2025 timeline is something we've been in preparation for a very, very long time. This year is the first time that we have crammed so many years into one. In fact, the 2025 timeline, the 2025 year, it's 1 year, but we're cramming 10 years worth of growth into one. So it's kind of like 10 years in one. That's really what 2025 is. It's 10 years in one. So now you're going to ask, how am I going to handle this? Because imagine you growing exponentially from 2025 to 2035. Who would you be? Oh my gosh, you in 10 years time, an unrecognizable version of you, because we have influxes of light coming into the planet, we have spiritual advancements coming onto the planet. So you in 10 years time is a very evolved self. Imagine the growth of 10 years worth of life. But now imagine it compacted into 12 little months. That's the journey ahead of us. And of course, there's going to be moments where you're going to be tested. Of course, there's going to be moments where you don't know who you are. It's going to feel like you're being flipped upside down. It's okay. The 2025 timeline, we're going to see so many advancements. Now, I will do another video for you guys where I'm going to lay out the year for you from January to December. But what I wanted to do was rather in this video give you a sense of the preparation that's needed to embrace the timeline ahead of us. You will know that for the last couple of weeks, if you watch me regularly, I haven't been posting very much, and there's a reason why. I needed downtime, I needed preparation time, because I started to feel the 2025 energy coming through. And this occurred for me around about the end of November. I started to feel what I would describe as the slipstream of 2025. The timeline is only one thing. A lot of people refer to the timeline and they say timelines because they're used to how it used to be. Yes, we used to have multiple timelines. We do not anymore. We're coming to a convergence point. The convergence point means all timelines get absorbed into one place. That's why it looks as crazy as it does right now, because we've essentially got a multitude of frequencies instead of a multitude of timelines, which were all separate. Imagine a train station with a whole lot of different trains. That's what it used to look like. Now we're all on one train. But now, instead of similar frequencies, think of it as a similar type of people being on one train and another group of people being on another train, perhaps some highly advanced, spiritual, enlightened beings on one train, and perhaps some riffraff on another train, drinking and getting drunk and being stupid and loud and obnoxious. They're on one train, and another train holds people going through celebrations. Another train holds people going through lack, because that's the consciousness that they're busy dealing with. Others are dealing with fighting. Others are dealing with peace. All the timelines are in one train, one timeline right now. So a multitude of frequencies is being hosted. And what that means is it's going to become so chaotic, because each frequency is at its most exacerbated expression. So in other words, peace is, for those people in peace, is becoming so exquisitely sublime. For those people who are experiencing separation or exasperation or lack or abundance, wherever they are, whatever their overriding experience is, it's what's growing their soul. That's exactly what they need to overcome or accomplish in order to reach their next level of acceleration. Everything right now is about how much acceleration can we cram into the next couple of days, months, and years, because that's how we ascend. People have always said this to me, Kerry, it's impossible. We're not going to ascend. We don't have enough time. Do you have any idea what humanity still has to learn in order for us as a collective to become essentially enlightened? I mean, yes. Imagine that. Imagine the group of beings that we call human beings, earth human beings, becoming enlightened, loving, peaceful things, and they're taking place in the time span of a few short months or years even, you would say to me, that's going to take a few 100,000 years or maybe even 1,000,000 years for humanity to get there. Yes, that's why we're doing this. That's why we are cramming so much into each passing year, because time is not a sequential thing. Time is such a beautiful play on expression and frequency. Time is quantum. That means it can't be measured in the way that our brains have been measured it. We can inject into a timeline or insert into a timeline years worth of growth. And at times in the past, we've done this. We've reached big acceleration phases, except 2025 is the entire year accelerating. So now that one train that we're on is becoming a bullet train. It is flying. It is fast. And you know what's going to happen as this fast-paced timeline occurs? There will be people who want to or have volunteered to hold the highest frequency in the train, in the timeline. We're going to call those people the Lightworkers. Those are people like you and me who have elected to pioneer a frequency which blazes a trail of light, leaves a ripple of light that others can learn from and be inspired by and begin to use to uplift themselves. So it's kind of like a trail of gold. Because that is the frequency, by the way, of humanity at its highest. Humanity in its enlightenment is a gold frequency. And there are going to be so many people who are going to be in that train and get a waft of something that they've been longing for, and that's the trail of gold that the pioneering light workers have been holding and anchoring. Okay, now we're getting to the important part that you need to know about for the 2025 timeline. Because it's so fast, because it's a bullet train, you're going to feel the speed of it, which is another way of saying, when I talk about the speed of the timeline, ultimately that is the speeding up of light. So we're going to mistake that for, time is going fast. No, time is going at exactly the same pace that it always has, but our experience of time is so different because the frequency is elevating so intensely, because we must enlighten before we get to the ascension point, so that at the ascension point we can shift into our 5D body, the 5D vehicle, which is what we came here to do. There are many videos on my channel where I talk about ascension, but we're going to talk about it a lot in 2025 because, of course, this is what we're doing this for. This is what we're in preparation. It's a physical journey. So the temptation is going to be there for you to want to meet the timeline in this frenetic pace. So you're going to feel like you need to run to catch up. You're going to feel a fear maybe of what if I get left behind? A sense of, it's the pressure of needing to perform or run or move fast. It can create anxiety and tension and very unnecessary stress, because many of you will already know this. I asked the Plasma Light Tribe, that's my online community, I asked them on Friday, what do you think is necessary for you to face and embrace this 2025 energy? What preparation do you think is necessary? And so many of them got the answer spot on. Slow down. That's exactly it. As that train, the bullet train of 2025, begins to accelerate, instead of running and getting frenetic to match the energy around you, you must become the anchor point. This is the calling now of the light workers. You're going to be called upon in your own way to anchor in light, to stabilize. The reason that gushing, flushing 2025 timeline energy is running through reality for the whole collective to be washed by that energy, that consciousness, is because it's purifying the timeline. But as those that were caught in separation, those that were caught in a pain and a density, experience the incoming light, it's going to cause conflict for them. It's going to cause confusion for them. They're going to be reeling from what they're being shown from within themselves. This isn't even, hey, look at and that's a whole other topic that is going to come up in 2025. Disclosure. It is a huge part of the 2025 energy. But those who are anchoring, the anchor points within that train, within that timeline, are those who are making it possible for everybody else to seamlessly go through this acceleration. Those who are anchoring in the love light, the stabilizing cosmic energy of love light. So think of it like this: rushing, gushing, flushing stream of energy, stream of light consciousness flowing through the timeline. And then there are beings like you and me who every now and then are going to breathe in gold as if it's rooted through our feet, up into the heavens, down through our bodies, and from that we emanate a ripple of light, and from that ripple of light, everybody in the train begins to absorb a stability and a calm and an elevation that allows them to bring in the higher light codes that they've been needing to for a very, very long time. Remember, humanity's been under the control of the archonic dark influence of the false matrix for time immemorial, so many lifetimes, so many ancestral lineages, so many generations have been imbued with the forgetfulness and the separation of the past, of the control that we have lived under unknowingly and unconsciously. So all of that's going to start being dispersed, being released from where it was held, which is within the cells of our bodies. And yes, there will be chaos or a feeling of chaos for a lot of people. But then again, look at that. There's the anchor points. So look at what's happening in the timeline. You're going to have people, to say it very plainly, freaking out. And then you're going to have people just holding the stability, holding, grounding, anchoring a higher frequency through their beings. You're going to see the chaos. It's not like you're going to have blinkers on and not know it's happening. You're going to see it, but not interact with it or be affected by it or react to it in the way that everybody else is. The anchor points are holding a very, very specific energy that they've been in training for a very long time. Not every light worker is going to be the anchor point for every single day of the year. There will just be moments of 2025. For you, maybe it is every week, maybe it's once a month, it's every now and then. There'll be moments where you hit a sublime peace, a sublime, immovable, anchored joy, anchored love light coming through you, where nothing can disturb your peace, nothing can stop you from grounding the higher consciousness that's coming in through your body. Nothing's going to be able to disturb that exquisite resonance that's going to be emanating from you. And that may last a minute, and it may last a week, and it may last a month. We'll be called upon. Each one of us is going to do this to our own capacity. That's all we have to do. But that's it. The anchor points have risen. You are one of them. You're watching this video, you're one of the anchor points, because this isn't going to make sense for you if you're not one of them. And really every light worker who is every human being working with light, that's who the light workers are. It's nothing complicated. They're the ones who've undergone the training. You've done it. You've gone through dark nights of the soul, through chaos, through trauma, through density, through confusion, so that you can become able to hold more light. You've cleared out enough density to create enough space to anchor this light in. Now, something so important about 2025, and this answers the question, why this crazy fast pace now? AI is going to begin to accelerate, and we're going to begin to get a grasp on, I don't know, question mark, if this is such a great thing. AI is going to be accelerating, and we're going to begin to see, or just get a glimpse even, of the acceleration of where AI can go, of what its potential is, and how that's going to impact us. We haven't fully got a grasp on this yet. It's almost like the curtains are being drawn back, that we're going to get this view of the potential of where AI can go, and we're going to go, okay, so big advances in AI. Along with that, we're going to see big advances in the medical field. Big advances in medicine. Medicine's going to, over the next couple of years, look very, very different to what we currently know. We're going to look at what we currently call medicine or the medical field, we're going to look back at it in a couple of years' time, or even in a year's time, and go, oh my gosh, that was archaic. The way we did things was so backwards. The way we thought of the human body was so backwards. You know how we think of the human body, at least from a medical perspective right now, is in separation, exactly how the false matrix trained us to think, very isolated. Like the brain is very separate from the foot, and the nervous system is very separate from the skeletal structure, and the skeletal structure is very separate from the endocrine system. So we had endocrinologists, and we had various medical professionals that were dealing with certain organs of the body or certain parts of the body as if the body was segmented and separate. We're going to start seeing medicine move towards wholeness, because we're moving towards wholeness. We're going to start seeing progressions in medicine whereby the advances will allow doctors to have almost no choice but to see the body as one whole thing, ultimately and eventually. This may only take place in a couple of years' time, but all the breakthroughs will take place in 2025. We'll start seeing the human being as one thing, and a doctor will see the human body as one thing. Instead of having professionals that have isolated their points of interest and points of profession into one body system, the entire body is going to be taken into account. So those are the medical advances. Now, think about this. We've got massive medical advances. We've got massive AI advances. You guys, if you don't see what the problem is here, then you're not seeing the obvious. And that is, if there is no spiritual growth to meet and match the technological growth, then we've got a problem. Then we've got an external reality becoming wiser than our internal realities can accommodate. And that creates a massive imbalance and another form of slavery. But that's why the 2025 timeline is accelerating now to propel forward human growth, human evolution, human consciousness, to be able to meet and match the growth of AI and medicine and technology and everything else that's going to be shifting on our planet. It's going to be so rapid that we're going to need human beings at the helm, in the front line, who are meeting and matching that level of growth, so that we don't get left behind or even enslaved once again. Humanity is going to begin to keep up. But they're not going to be keeping up, those in the front line, and meaning the front line, meaning those who are front running the frequency, front running the energy of the human growth, the human consciousness, those who are holding that high frequency, light workers, that's you, those who are doing that are going to be offering a service to humanity that can't even be articulated, because without those front runners, this would be the end of humanity. It's because of those front-running spiritual warriors that we're going to not just keep up with all the acceleration and all the growth on our timeline. We're going to move. In the next couple of years, we're going to move to a place where that's going to be led by the human being. And when that happens, AI stops becoming a threat. AI will only always be a threat when humanity is behind in our growth, when our technological advances are way over there and human consciousness is way over here. 2025, we're bringing it into balance. And then after 2025, that's where the human being begins to take their rightful power. So much is going to take place. Remember what I said, I will come back again with another video breaking the year down for you into 12 bite-sized chunks. We're going to talk about the January, February, March, April, May, all the energies of the year so that you can get a little roadmap of 2025. But I wanted to give you this overview so that you're not tempted to run, so that you feel the bullet train of 2025 and that you're not tempted to meet and match the energy, but that you understand, oh wait, I actually have to be the anchor point. How am I going to do that, by the way? How am I going to be the anchor point? All right. Presence, connection, and stillness. What are those three things Kerry always talks and teaches about? If you're in the Plasma Light Tribe, you know all about this. Presence, connection, and stillness. These are the keys to enlightenment. It's about the simplicity of presence, of breath, of living life as a meditation. Yes, we can certainly meditate, but living life as a meditation, with our eyes open, while having conversations, going to the bank, taking kids to school, learning to live life as a meditation requires a new skill set of presence, coming into presence in the body. So of course, if you want to really learn the skill set that I'm talking about, join the Plasma Light Tribe, where I can share the very powerful in-depth teachings with you. For now, from my heart, I hope you feel this. Take the time with me now, from my heart, all the way into yours. So much love. Thank you for giving me the grace of the last couple of weeks where I haven't been posting a lot of videos, to just do what I've needed to do, to slow down so that I can catch up, so that I can teach you to slow down, so that you can catch up, so that we collectively can move forward. Just let the love in, because it's everywhere. It's all around you. It's all inside of you. Now, you, me, we are becoming aware of the love that was always there, but inaccessible. It was as if we were blind to it before. We're coming online to new frequencies. As this happens, it's almost like you start seeing color with new intensity, as if you're seeing different shades, different hues that you didn't perceive before. It's that kind of feeling, except in a very non-visual way, in a feeling way. You're going to start to feel love, light, joy, peace at heightened levels. Because now we're beginning to open ourselves up to perceive those higher realities. So at the end of pretty much every video, I do a love activation with you. Those are becoming more and more powerful, more and more important. Slow down so that you can catch up. Feel the pause. Here's one. Allow it in. It stabilizes everything. It grounds down into you. It is God's source energy flashing right through you, as if your body was a beam of light from the cosmic heavens right down into the cosmic heart of our planet. You stabilize that beam of cosmic light. And by the way, that's one of the many jobs of the Lightworkers, to be those anchor points. Speak to you way more in 2025. Lots of love. Here's a video that I think you would probably enjoy right now. So I'm going to leave this for you just over here. Bye-bye for now.